Well, I'm not going to get copywritten if I said, guess who's back? Yeah, I'm back. So I have a lot of explaining to do, and rightfully so. And the best way I could say it is this. For one thing, first and foremost, I would never hurt myself. I would never do anything like that. I'll be very honest. In the past history of my life, I tried one time. It got so bad and so ridiculously painful. I got close to it, and I would never do that again. That was in my 20s, my early 20s. Just stupid shit. But I've since January, to be honest with everybody, I've been riddled with doubt really badly, like very bad doubts, bouts of being doubtful and stuff. And it's been a reoccurring thing. It hasn't ended. It's still going. And this week I've had, literally, to be honest, and I've told these guys, I've had a nervous breakdown maybe 2 or 3 times this year. And it's been really crazy. This one probably much more so because of certain factors outside of the community in my own life that have been happening, and dealing with work and other things, that it wasn't these guys' faults for anything. It's just I use this outlet to help me as a vent kind of thing. It helps me to be therapeutic, and I can't do this show alone anymore because we've already seen what happened that one time. Being in the way I've been for years, I would be able to push all this stuff out and push it away. But now it's just since like October, in the last couple of months, I've been fine. I could push it out and everything. But as soon as the beginning of the year hit, it's just nonstop. Like, I walk into a room, and I used to be like confident. I have no confidence at all. I think about, okay, why does this person want to talk to me? Why is this person here? Why am I doing here? What the hell is the problem with me? Why am I supposed to be here? Would everybody's lives be better off if I wasn't around? Like, if I just locked myself in a room and stuff like that. And it's gotten to the point where I quite doubt who I am at times. I'm like, am I good enough for anything? Am I worth anything? How, if I meet somebody, is even possible for them to actually understand what I'm saying or thinking or talking? I mean, I have a nickname from a best friend of mine who I've known for 15 years, and I question, why am I friends with these people? What do they see in me? Am I worth? What am I? And it's the same way with community. It's the same questions I'm asking. So I wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate everybody sending support and love and all that stuff after that. It's just that I cannot physically and mentally keep going this way. And it's just, how I feel doesn't change right now. I still feel the same way as that tweet I posted. I have to get through this whole doubt in my head and stuff. And I'm at the point where it's like every day I come home, I shut my door, I go upstairs, I sit in the bathtub, and I just wonder, why am I even here? It's difficult for me at times. I walk in a room and I already figure, everybody else has already judged me before they even know me. And it's ridiculous. I go and talk to a customer about their car, and I'm already thinking, why are they looking at me like I'm a piece of shit? Like, they don't even know me from a hole in the wall. Why are they thinking I'm like this? Why am I doing this? It's so much built up, and it doesn't help that Mother's Day is this weekend, I believe. My mom's anniversary is coming up. Easter just passed, and she was terminal on Easter. And I know I keep regurgitating the same stuff, but emotionally it doesn't help. And the greatest things in my life that happened after my mom were this show. I was with somebody in a relationship, and ever since then, everything's changed. Now, it wasn't the relationship that kicked this off. It was just, I couldn't physically push myself through all this and mentally push it all through. Like, I was literally pushing and trying to go through everything. I've spent more time home than I have in a long time. And it's just, I don't, my sister and my best friend offered to buy me food, and I said no. Free food. You know, if you live around here, Texas Roadhouse, good food. But literally, I just didn't do anything. I stayed home. I just basically locked myself in my room. I didn't want to go anywhere. Where before, and Anakin even, so he'd be like, "So, what are you doing, Thorbeck? What's your plans on that?" "Oh, I'm going up to Derry, New Hampshire on Saturday. We're gonna do a cookout, and I'm gonna go here and there." And now I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home. I don't want to be around people. I don't like being around people. I hate the fact that I feel like this. You know, that's why I'm been riddled with doubt, because it's like everything that I believe in the core of me has basically been stripped away, and it's like, who am I? And that's how it is. Like, and I'll be preferably for upfront with everybody who's watching. Even if you're watching through Twitch or you're watching on YouTube on this or watching this later, I will never hurt myself. I have one person who loves me to death. That's my blood. It cares about me more than anything. And I would never do anything stupid to jeopardize that. It's just, this is how I've been feeling. This is how it's been since January. Hell, Anakin almost caught me having like a nervous breakdown. It's just, it never ends.
We're glad you're here, man. We really are. It's like we've said before. You give us a really good platform. We appreciate all this time. Like I know I've mentioned it. It is one of the highlights of my week to. It's one of the highlights of my week to get on here and to talk with you guys. Like, and I think honestly, like that's one of those things that a lot of times we underrate what we can do for other people with simple actions, like giving a link to a StreamYard page. Like that in and of itself seems very small, and it's very easy to like underestimate that stuff, but it does make a big difference. Last night I was kind of feeling the way you're feeling, where yesterday I wasn't really feeling too great about just things in general. And someone else in the community sent me a little DM on the Twitter and just was like, "Hey man, random DM, I know, but just wanted to let you know, like, I appreciate you. You do some cool stuff. You're a good person." And it totally flipped me around. So like, I get going through tough times. I know everybody has those, and it's just, you have people around you, and it's a good thing that you're here, and we appreciate you, man, because it making things easier for other people is something that I think a lot of times we underestimate what that can do for us. So just for eternity, just I appreciate the stuff that you've done for us. So let's have a good time, and let's talk some NFL draft and stuff. But I appreciate you, sir. I really, really do.
Anakin's watching The Circle.
Well, not right now. I finished the newest batch of episodes. Which, if you're not sure what that is, you can check out the show that the guy this way did earlier today. I was on with him. We were talking Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff, and yeah, and I mentioned how much I've been enjoying The Circle, but not watching that right now. But just to echo what Ray said, you've been somebody that I've gotten to know over the last several months. It's been a real pleasure watching you grow, and this channel grow, and the show grow over the last several months. The first time you had Rob Wilkins on as a guest, I said to you, "Hey, like, that was such a good show. Like, you seemed way more comfortable having somebody there for you to talk to, and bounce things off of, and looking at where it's evolved now. And we all played a part, but you played the biggest part because you gave us the opportunity for this, and just like Ray, being able to be on the show once a week with you guys, and talk to you guys, and even doing our little characters and stuff. You give us that chance. You give us that opportunity to do that. So We definitely love and appreciate you, man. And we are always here for you, and we've always got your back. You've got my number, so you can call me whenever. Like even if it's like late at night, me. I work third shift. I'll be up anyway, so
By the way, Jags are on the clock.
And what do you mean gimmick? Shh, don't break the fourth wall.
Well, you know what?
To be fair, we're on a different channel, so we're
on a different.
We are on the main. We are on the main. Okay.
Well, sure, but
everybody in the community knows that you guys.
I know.
There's times to do it. Yeah,
I know.
Yep.
All kayfabe, brother.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I am gonna. And the thing is that how like on Facebook they have internet. Obviously, we have one like internet groups where you could just go into and just go in there and ask, talk and stuff. And they have somebody who's like a licensed psychologist or something in there. The psychologist even said this to me, that they can't help me because I analyze them. That's the other problem I have. I'm so analytical with everything. I can literally sit in a room and I can tell you in a bar who's going to be going home with who. And I'm
bold, brother.
And literally, I'm like Ray with predictions. I'm probably 85% right.
See, I need you as a wingman. No joke. I could use you as a wingman so that I know, like, okay, like who would be somebody I would actually hit it off with.
Yeah.
So as we discuss the NFL draft with the Jaguars on the clock, who I don't know who they could possibly take. I wonder if it could be a quarterback.
Kenny Omega.
That would be very funny. He's collecting belts. He's collecting first overall picks.
Wait,
see, folks, that's what you came here for. You came here for NFL and wrestling combined.
Hold on, Ray. That's how he gets the WWE Championship. He gets drafted by the Jaguars. Jaguars win the Super Bowl. WWE sends the WWE custom WWE Championship belt. That's how he gets his hands on the WWE title. Boom!
Oh my gosh. You'll only find that crazy take here, folks. So a different discussion entirely, but I think one that is fun. There's often the conversation about like the draft and kind of the fairness of it. Like it's been a topic since the mid 80s, or early 80s, John Elway and Bo Jackson saying, "Don't draft me. I don't want to play here." We saw it with Eli Manning. We've seen all that different stuff. Imagine if like this is a process that is very weird in the sense that you have professionals going to a team and organization where they don't have any say of who they're working for.
Not for 5 years after they sign their rookie deals.
Well, depending on, because if they're late round picks, it's only a 3-year deal. So it's interesting to see how that works. And like, if you don't get drafted at all, you can kind of go wherever you want. Imagine, like, as much as this is a weird concept, the NFL does this process in a more TV friendly way than anybody else does it. Like, you have people all over the country watching these teams pick people, and we're doing a watch along to discuss it. Like, that's an insane topic, but imagine how insane this would be if there wasn't a draft and you saw college level recruiting, but like NFL dollars. Like, we didn't know that Jacksonville was going to get Trevor Lawrence. Like, he could go, you know what? I'll sit behind Tom Brady in Tampa Bay for 2 years and I'll just learn. And then I'll be like, can you imagine how insane that would be if we didn't draft?
No, because I don't really follow football. So.
By the way, if you're gonna hit this up, hit up the Twitch also. That would be great. Let me check how close we are.
Hit the thumbs up and all that gimmick too.
Yeah, we got a show coming up on Tuesday. I got to pay these Brock contracts.
Tad, you were about to throw something in there too.
No, I was just gonna say, imagine the balance of power if you didn't have to necessarily draft players. I mean, everyone would just not want to go. Who would want to go to the Jaguars?
Well, and it would be interesting to see like the level of accountability, because like if a team wasn't going after some of these top name guys, you'd go, why are we not going after some of this talent? Like that would be an interesting thing to see. Like obviously, if you're a team like the Chiefs, you're not going to go after Trevor Lawrence because Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback ever, probably. Sorry, Pat. I know Tom Brady, whatever. Like Mahomes can get there. I'm not saying he's there yet. He can get there. Like for him to have done what he's done already, he can get there. He might not get the number of rings, and that's fair. But as far as like all-time great quarterbacking, he's already very good.
You got a problem with Mahomes though because of the fact that who is his Peyton Manning? Brady had Manning to push him, and then Breeze came around, and they all three of them, and then you had more and more of these types of quarterbacks pushing them to get better. Now you really there you go. Now you really don't, because of the fact that Mahomes is literally by himself.
No. Be careful, sir. There's a lot of good quarterbacks that are in these last couple of years. Like Lamar Jackson is very, very good. I know he's controversial right now because we don't know what his future looks like, but Deshaun Watson has been very good.
That is controversial there.
I know. Dak is very, very good. They're right in the same time period.
AEW is now approaching
Josh Allen.
I don't like Josh Allen for reasons, but yes, he's very, very good. You're about
Tony Khan has drafted Kenny Omega to the
I just said that
Well.
throwback. I just said that.
I know.
So we'll see how our timings are.
Clemson.
Did they announce it yet?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Clemson.
So your streams are ahead of mine.
All right. Well,
and I'm going to do this gimmick for a little while.
I'm going to let you guys talk football because, like I said, I know next to nothing. But throwback, we're all here for you, man. Keep strong. And we'll see you on Tuesday. By the way, I do want to ask, because I see what jersey is that that you're wearing there, Ray? What is that?
This is a Denver Broncos Super Bowl 50.
Okay.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Okay. I'm looking here and I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt. It's a great shirt, but I wish I had a jersey of my own to go with it. I don't think somebody should have.
It's good. Okay, now.
Bannikin.
I'm done. I'm done. Like literally, no. Like no. Just
no.
Man. On the Mahomes discussion, I think it's fair to say that he's probably the most talented quarterback we've ever seen, but he's not yet the greatest we've ever seen because he hasn't accomplished anything as close to what obviously Brady being at the top of that list. But in terms of talent, I don't know if we've seen anyone as talented as him in the NFL. Maybe Rodgers is a close.
We'll talk about him.
Talent, but yeah.
I think what he's done in the short period of time that he's done it, because I mean, realistically, his second season was really like his first season because he sat behind Alex Smith for 15 games. And now, as much as I don't like admitting how great Pat Mahomes is, because again, Broncos, he's rival. We hate him, boo. But like, he's very, very good. And I've seen him against my Broncos quite a bit already. Like, you don't come into the league in your second year, you throw 50 touchdowns. Like Dan Marino territory. Like he's the last one to come in that quickly and do that much damage. He's already got a Super Bowl ring. He's already got an MVP. He's, I think, 24 years old. Like he's going to be around a long time. He's going to break a lot of records. So it'll be very fun to see his career continue. So.
Now, the Jets are on the clock at the moment. What were your thoughts on them getting rid of Sam Darnold? I mean, they could have easily surrounded him with a whole bunch of talent. They've got a lot of picks, not just this year, but next year as well. A lot of firsts, a lot of seconds. They choose, probably, we'll see now, but it's probably most likely Zach Wilson going there. What were your thoughts on that?
I look at that and I think you've got a new you've got a new regime coming in, and also, hi Hannah, by the way, welcome to the stream. But I look at this and say they've got a new regime coming in. You've got people who want their guys, and like Sam, he's not. I don't want to say he's like not a New York guy because that seems really cliche, but like he doesn't seem to be the guy that fits there. And I don't know that that's necessarily true because like we saw Eli Manning kind of get mistreated by New York media a lot. And he's got kind of that similar aura to him, I guess.
Thank you, Hannah, by the way.
Yes, for sure. And I look at that though, and I think it might just not have been a good fit. And you're trying to rebuild that franchise. And so it's a little easier when you can go, here's a new quarterback with all of the other pieces that they're trying to assemble. And like Saleh is not going to put their new coach there. He's not going to put too much on this young quarterback, but Darnold's been in the league long enough to where it's like, dude, you either have to get this going or you're a bust. And I think him being in Carolina now allows him to reset. Carolina's offense is very, very good. It's a shame that everything kind of didn't work with Teddy Bridgewater. But again, he's a Bronco now, so I'm okay with that. Assuming Aaron Rodgers doesn't become a Bronco tonight too. So the quarterback shakeup this offseason has been very, very interesting to see too. So, but yeah, I'm curious to see how the Jets do this because they do have a lot of picks this year and next year, I believe too.
Yeah, because I mean, Sam Darnold's still only 23, so
Yeah.
he would be one of the young guys in this draft anyway. I think the big thing maybe for the Jets was they were able to reset the clock with their quarterback, which is, I mean, that's probably the best chance you have to win something is.
I'll
when
say
you've
this
got,
much: I have his internet's still acting up.
Yeah.
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 Oh boy.
But we do think quarterback here though, obviously, because I mean
Yeah.
they kind of have to. So who do you think we're getting here? Because there's a lot of discussion on who it is.
I think it's going to be Zach Wilson. I think he's been somehow like he's been a lock for them the whole time. Like obviously not before the season ended because I would have put Justin Fields second behind Trevor Lawrence. Some people even said 1A, 1B, but I think it was 1 and 2. But for some reason, I've not watched a lot of Zach Wilson. Obviously, him being at BYU, it's not a program that I watch a lot of. And the danger is now assessing him on just watching the highlights. And he does have good highlights. Like, you can't deny that. So
this is going to be a dumb question. Did BYU have a season this last year? Because that's the other thing that throws
they
this
had a couple
lot
of
too.
games.
Okay.
They had a couple of games, yeah.
That's what I thought. It's just I couldn't remember because I know
him a chance to showcase.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember. I knew they didn't do a full season. I couldn't remember if they got some in. All right, so it says picks coming in, so we'll see. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how many quarterbacks go and how early they go too, because this is going to be a lot of quarterbacks that are going to go tonight. It'll be interesting to see how far Fields falls though, and it's kind of a shame because like. I wonder how much of that is the Ohio State stink because the Ohio State quarterbacks don't typically do much in the league.
Yeah.
But
he's just had Dwayne Haskins.
And like he's not an Ohio State guy. Like he was at Georgia. Georgia has produced some quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford, like that it's interesting to see how that'll affect him.
Jeff Hawkins is saying trade Rodgers to the Jets.
I mean, that wouldn't be a terrible idea. It does say pick is in, so it looks like Jets are locked in here. But it'll be that
Zach
wouldn't be
Wilson,
a bad move.
BYU.
Actually, if Rodgers was to go to the Jets, though, that would be funny, considering the predecessor. Where did he go?
Oh, yeah.
Brett Favre to the Jets, and then he ends up in Minnesota.
San Fran on the clock. Do you think that San Fran eventually will trade Garoppolo this year?
I will be surprised if he is a 49er by the end of the weekend. So, yes, I do think they'll trade him.
Yeah.
I wonder if your internet's still acting up, Aaron. I have no clue why. It's really the third pick. He keeps updating his name. Oh wow, this is the second time I've laughed the last few days. Oh man. By the way, I want to say this too. I love this community. I really do.
I really do too, man. Like I know I've mentioned it before. Like
I was looking at the list like literally this morning because I haven't checked Twitter that much. And literally I've gotten like Rob texted me, my friend Jess, who was here the other day, she texted me. It was just like, but the community itself, it was like I'm looking at the whole list and stuff like that, and it was awesome. But also it was just like one of those things for me. It's like, okay, I'm being in that mindset and stuff. I think also what kicked it off too is that photo I posted too. The whole question of the line is look into my eyes and tell me what you really see. So you're having, it's like a kid in a candy store with StreamYard right now, aren't you?
I'm trying to figure out this gimmick, man. I gotta learn it.
What, the ticker?
Oh, I forgot about that. Maybe that's
I
what
just
I
said
do
that in the message.
Yes, you did. I need to. All right.
So depending on who, like if, do you guys think if they take like Trey Lance that they keep Garoppolo, or irrespective of which quarterback they pick, Garoppolo is gone?
If they're in the process of wanting to rebuild and restart, press the restart button, they'll trade Garoppolo to the Pats because that means they have the 3rd and the 15th pick.
You just want your Jimmy G back, don't you?
I think it was the most stupidest trade ever in Patriots history. It really is. Think about it. I mean, you wouldn't have to go through the whole Cam Newton 1-year contract fiasco.
They brought him back, didn't they?
Yeah, for 1-year deal.
Okay, but that's what it was last year too. I'll be curious to see if the second year is helpful to him because, like, I know Cam's a controversial guy, but Cam is real good. Like, I wouldn't like. I'm good with Teddy Bridgewater, but I wouldn't be mad to see Cam in a Broncos jersey, like, which would be funny because Super Bowl and stuff.
And quarterbacks usually struggle in their first season in the Belichick offense anyway. So he didn't. He only came in a couple of weeks before the season started as well. Barely had time to learn the playbook. Didn't really get time to link up with his teammates. I think it's going to be a better second season. He's been given some weapons now. Maybe they probably need another wide receiver, which could be someone they draft this draft, especially in the first round. If they don't get a quarterback, throwback, would you be happy with the wide receiver in the first round, or you want a quarterback?
What, for the Patriots?
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones again.
After all those all these acquisitions they made in the offseason, they got 2 really good tight ends right now. They've got a bunch of new wide receivers. I mean, I could see them go defensively because they did pick up a bunch of good defensive pieces too. But you can't always have enough defense because defense generally wins championships. I mean, look at the early Super Bowl runs and stuff like that. It literally the 01, the 03, and the 04 they won with defense, especially 03, 04. They won with defense. It's ridiculous however all it is, but I wouldn't mind seeing them do something for, the offensive ball where they get somebody who's a running back like Sony Michel. Like, they need somebody better than. I love Sony Michel, don't get me wrong, but they need a better one. Hey,
is he here for real this time?
I just had to go reset my internet. It was looking, it was connecting, then disconnecting. I'm like, no, I can't take this anymore. I have to reset it.
So I wanted to point this out from JL from the hood.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna keep hearing that. Like, it's very true, man. Like, we really do appreciate you. So 49ers, a couple minutes left on the clock. It will be interesting to see because they reportedly earlier today the GM, John Lynch, former Bronco, and head coach, Kyle Shanahan, son of former Broncos coach, Mike Shanahan. All these Broncos connections are apparently the only two that know the pick. But the last like 5 or 6 years in a row, they have picked at like 2 or 3 or 4, and it's always defensive line. Do we finally break the trend? And I think it is obvious that we're probably getting a quarterback here, but it'll be very interesting to see where Jimmy G goes. And I know you want him back. Aaron, I don't think I know. Who is your team? And Tad, same thing.
My team's actually San Fran and Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, Buffalo makes sense. Yeah. Tad, what about you?
I'm gonna have to find a team because
Just not the
To the
Lions.
dark,
I used
to
to
the
be-
dark side.
The thing is, when I was really young, it was Patriots, but it was literally
Oh,
because
it's
I
in, it's
didn't
in.
know much
Sorry,
about
Chad.
football, and they were winning. So as a kid, you kind of just go with the winning team. But then I thought that's not the best way to go about it. So
Why
I
not?
did fantasy football for the first time this last year.
Yeah.
I lost in the semifinals, so I did pretty decently. And yeah, I've
Speaking
gotten
of
into football now. So I was supporting players opposed to teams, but I need to pick a team now. Do you guys have any suggestions on where I should lean towards?
Well, let me finish
Not the
putting
Lions.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Beforehand, I wanted to point all this out, right? Is that like I said, and I am appreciative of this community. And if everybody's watching, I really mean it. It seeing all that love of sport is really helpful. I'm getting messages now from like core people that are former guests also on here. Saying, making suggestions and stuff. Yes, I need to go talk to somebody. I understand that with all this stuff. It's really difficult for me because it's like I have a confidence thing where it's like I confide in certain people because of the fact that I've been hurt so much, if that makes any sense. I've been left for dead. And very honestly, I have a scar that goes from the top of my skull from a curve of a metal trash can being dropped full force on my head and left for dead in the middle of a park, to getting heartbroken multiple times, to get hurt multiple times from seizures and stuff. And it's never stopped. So it's like all the stuff, my dad leaving and everything. Hey, Trey Lance, they went cornerback.
They went Trey Lance.
They
Wow.
went Trey Lance.
I
Yeah.
thought
I
we
think
were
they
getting
keep
Mac
Jimmy G.
Jones.
I think they keep Jimmy G for the season.
That's
Give
fair.
Trey Lance
To
a
kind
year.
of Mahomes him.
Because look, I think the problem is they
But
were under a lot of pressure to win this coming year. They've got a squad that's ready to win now, and Jimmy G can deliver that. Obviously, if Jimmy G stays fit, that's probably the big thing. Every time they've had a fit quarterback, they've gone to a Super Bowl. So maybe their confidence in that they can keep Jimmy G fit, give Trey Lance the year to learn the system, learn probably a few things that he wouldn't have learned at North Dakota State in terms of just level of competition that he has to go against. He can do that in practice. Give him a couple of preseason games now that preseason games are back, and then we see what he can do next year when you can then trade Jimmy G back to the Patriots. Maybe give them the favor back and give him for a second
Patriots should
rounder.
not go for Jimmy G. They should try to trade up in the draft and get one of the fields.
I don't think Trey's ready to
Jones.
start right now, though.
Or try.
So let me put this because these comments are still here
Sure.
before all that stuff. So I mean, like JL said, is that he doesn't personally know me. I'm familiar with myself. Oh, there goes Tad. Through the Fightful, nevertheless, all the interactions you have on Fightful, you seem like a very kind soul. Gentle heart and compassionate. Take it one day at a time. Don't beat yourself up. Send the positive from Jersey. I know this is going to be a recurring theme for an hour, but that's fine. It's really, really difficult at times for me to rely on people and stuff. I have friends like for years. One of my best friends was one of the pallbearers for my mom. like literally. And I still question stuff he says and question stuff him and his wife do and my goddaughter and stuff. It's been like that, like I said, for January. And one of my friends thinks it's because of what happened to me in October with Crystal, and it just was like a delayed reaction kind of thing, where it's just like you're like, and then you just go through everything for 2 months, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just hits you late. It's weird, and I'm not blaming her for anything like that. It's not her fault, and she wanted to better her life, and I appreciate it. It's just it's difficult for me to not feel this way. I know when I get through towards my mom's till on May 23rd, I get there and I get past that, I'll be fine. But for right now, it's just like I'm literally questioning every godforsaken thing. Like, I'm wondering what to do to get food right now because I'm hungry, but I'm wondering if I should eat because of the fact that it's going to be 9 o'clock soon. So it's like, the smallest details, smallest minute things, I keep questioning all those things that you shouldn't be.
Yeah, man, go get something to eat. We can hold down the fort for you. We got you.
I know.
Eat while you're here.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the draft gimmick is just snack, man. As
So
I
who's
realize
number
I don't
4
have any
going?
snacks.
Pitts? Kyle Pitts going number 4?
If Atlanta doesn't
Did he go
move this
fourth?
pick, he hasn't yet. Unless you're ahead of me,
Okay.
because my stream's always behind. But
Are you ahead of us, Aaron?
No, I just chose
Canada-
number 4
Canada's
pick. I didn't say. I know. I'm just saying it's Kyle
you're
Pitts going
saying
number
is
4.
it? Yeah. If they don't
okay.
move this pick, I can very much see it. Or do they find Matt Ryan's replacement with a former Georgia person in Justin Fields? Like, that would be interesting.
But
Mac
but
Jones
Matt
would be
Ryan's-
interesting. But
Matt Ryan's
but-
got a lot of cap. That's a lot of dead cap that
Matt Ryan's like 36 now.
you're giving up. I think he's there for at least 2 years.
yeah. So I don't think it would. That would be one of those ones where like Twitter breaks because it's
I
like, oh
think
my gosh.
If
But
Pitts,
I think Pitts is a good pick. I think Pitts is a good fit here.
some people have Pitts going 4 and Chase going 5 to Cincinnati. If they pass up a Pitts, I'm sorry, but Bengals don't get the receiver, get Pitts.
Yeah,
But you got to protect your investment in
gotta
Burrow.
Yeah.
protect
Surely
Burrow,
you
yeah.
get Panay Sewell.
But you can get to the
That's what I
second
think.
round. You could get offensive lineman in the second and third round.
Not a
Not
Panay
a Panay
though.
Sewell.
Pitts is a
Not a Panay
franchise.
Sewell.
Pitts is a franchise tight end.
If you really want to know what's behind this logo, it says Patriots NFL draft.
So
I think you don't pass up a franchise talent.
but who is the tight end in Cincinnati though? Like I
Ashton
All
was
these
I have no idea.
because like as much as Pitts is very much a useful weapon, like he's gonna be one of those guys that says, no, don't pay me like a tight end, pay me like a wide receiver. Like he's that
They
good.
say you can play like a receiver, yeah.
Yeah. But you have, and again, he is a once in a 10, 15, 20 year talent, but you have some good young receivers, and like more receivers isn't a bad thing, but you have to keep Burrow upright because I'm telling you, that dude got the crap kicked out of him last year, and you do not need that
They've
again.
got Drew Sample as a tight end.
Oof. That's not great.
I
But you
just
can
don't think-
recover
I
that
just don't think
easier
you
than
pass
you,
up a franchise talent.
but passing up a franchise tackle is tough too.
Can you want to know something
But
funny? Is
hasn't-
that I'm conflicted because the team that's on the clock now is my second team.
The
The
Falcons.
third team I have, my dad used to live out in
28-3.
My dad used to live off of near I-20, right over that way. Over in a town called Buford. So I mean, I literally would go down there at least twice and visit my step family, and I like the Falcons. So, but the third team I'm stuck with the jersey because I lost a bet is still sitting up there, and I don't know if Sean's gonna watch and call me out for not wearing it.
Oh, he ain't gonna.
I think
say
Detroit's
anything.
going to pick a quarterback because they're not going to keep Golf is not their quarterback in the future.
They'll wait. Like I really do think I think Goff gets a bad rap. I really do.
Mhm.
Like I think LA won that trade pretty handedly, but I think Goff is going to surprise some people.
But he plays for Detroit, so
I mean, man, you just bury it. Like I'm from Michigan. Like I am a Broncos fan, and then I'm a Saints fan, and then I have a soft spot for the Lions.
Saints might need a future
But-
quarterback because
Well, they just paid Taysom Hill, so they're gonna at least give that
They
a
paid
shot.
Taysom Hill. I'm sorry, Taysom Hill is not a franchise quarterback. A lot of guys can lead you to a Super Bowl.
We don't know that.
They went tight end from Florida, Kyle Pitts.
Well, yeah, it's the right pick.
All right, I'm gonna go get a drink, and then no, I'm not drinking beer,
But
I can still hear you.
So I
know
look
Miami's going to take a receiver. Miami is 100% going to take a receiver.
They need a wideout from the Bengals.
Well, I was gonna say the Bengals are up now anyway, so
Yeah. But I know Miami after them is going to take another receiver. I can see 2 receivers going in a row.
yeah, I could. This is a very good receiving class, and you mentioned the thing with, and obviously Atlanta went with. Oh, never mind. Ignore that point. I was gonna make a point that didn't make any sense, so I don't want to do that. Hitting the ticker here, folks.
I love how Anakin's not here and kayfabe's not back up. So watch
He
where he
doesn't do that
starts
stuff.
tracking.
No, Anakin doesn't talk sports, huh?
Oh, Anakin would get roasted by me if he tried to. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. Like, I know a certain interviewer that you did there, Throwback, said that I think I know everything, but this is a territory where I'm not being cocky. I'm being very honest. This is a territory where, even more so than wrestling, I know my stuff. So.
I think it's funny that everybody's watching the draft, and I'm not. And Warren's got a show, and his
I'm
show's
watching
good.
draft and watching my Maple Leafs. So
I've got the draft and impact on.
Omega's on, right? Omega's gonna be on this impact.
Well, Taylor Wilde is on the screen right now, and I missed who she's going against, but they're in some kind of a weird dress gimmick. I think it might be Kimberly, but it's like a weird fairy dress gimmick thing. Yeah, I think that's Kimberly.
Man, today, I don't know, these wrestlers this past few days are becoming more like anti-vax stuff coming out.
Oh, let's not give the dipshit ref any publicity.
Not just him, like Wyback, Brookside.
The guy who doesn't wrestle for anybody.
The guy got on the phone, retire.
Did you see the
retire? Yeah.
That was peak Twitter being a source of good. Like, what should my next option be? Here's companies, and then what wins by a landslide. Like, if that was a presidential election, it was like blowout victory of retire.
Oh my!
Ray,
What's up, Ron?
Ray,
Yes.
what do you reckon about the whole Julio Jones trade rumors? Because obviously the Falcons are complaining about their cap at the moment. They've just traded for Kyle Pitts, who's all world.
So I
I'll show you offense
all the
right
scouting
here.
and stuff. Does Julio stay,
NFL
or
Network.
like is he going to play with Julio?
So I
We
look
got
at
our first comment on Twitch. It's Ron Patel.
Oh, is it because he lost the beard? But no, to the question about like where does Julio go? I think that's consistent with what Atlanta typically has done the last 10, 15 years, really. Because you remember they brought in Roddy White, and then they brought in Julio Jones. And then shortly after, Roddy White was gone, and then they brought in Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's been there a couple years now. They just brought in Kyle Pitts. I wouldn't be surprised to see Julio get moved, because when you're picking 4, you're kind of in rebuild.
What year was he drafted?
Julio, that was the year they like sold the farm for him. I think that was like 2013 or 2014. And as a receiver, like you hit 30 and it's kind of a do they still have it? And he's not there yet. So that might be a situation where you trade him to get the value while you can. But I believe, I could be wrong. I believe he's
been injury prone, right? He's been injury prone a little bit.
A little bit, and he's very hit or miss with his touchdowns. Because you remember a couple years ago, he like didn't score a touchdown, but also had like 300-yard games. So that was really weird.
So is Miami next after this?
Yes.
Yes. It's Cincinnati, Miami, Detroit, Carolina, Broncos, and then the Cowboys.
Ron, I know you're watching on Twitch. What do you want for the next pick?
Bridgewater, huh? And they got I guess they're not high on Drew Lock. Not high on Drew Lock.
Well, I think it's smart. He's been there 2 years. He's been very up and down. You have to at least give him competition And Teddy Bridgewater's real good competition. I know some people soured on him with how Carolina went, but I believe in Teddy Bridgewater. I, as a Saints also fan, I said also fan, not only fan, by the way. But he's a guy that looked real good there. I watched him in college a lot, and I get it. College was a long time ago. It was a while ago.
He did get New Orleans, and Breeze was hurt for a little bit.
Yeah, he was undefeated when he was in New Orleans, which is that system. I don't know. We'll find out with Taysom Hill. Like they've been, and I know you joked about Taysom before. They've been grooming him for years to do exactly what he's about to do. So
I'm about to go load freaking Sean's Twitter because I know that him and Jesse are watching the draft. I believe Sean's watching the draft.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm sure he's at least got it on one of his screens.
So I think Chase is going here.
I don't see how you don't get Penei Sewell. Like you have to protect. And I get it. Jamar Chase is very good. He's got, he can be very, very good. But they just drafted T. Higgins last year, and he was a stud. I forget the other guy that they drafted, but they've got like 2 or 3 young, under 25-year-old receivers that have already shown to be very good. Protect your quarterback so he can get the ball to those guys. And then you mentioned like draft a tackle the next round, draft a receiver the next round, because this class is stupid deep. It's not as deep at the tackle spot.
They've got Tyler Boyd.
That's the guy I was thinking of, is Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
You just know in NFL drafts, like the first round, yeah, you're gonna probably a lot of Pro Bowl talent, but in the first, second, third round, you're definitely there's a good chance you get more Pro Bowl talent from there too. That's what's great about NFL, is that the second, third, even fourth round, you get a lot of Pro Bowl talent.
But Joe Burrows was lobbying for Jamar Chase because they played together at LSU. So maybe he got his way.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. I mean, you want to make your quarterback happy, but your quarterback also just got hurt in his rookie year. Yeah. That might be a spot where you don't listen.
I remember David Carr's rookie year. Did he set the record for sacks?
I have that man's jersey, and I feel very bad about it.
Did he set the record at the time?
Yeah, it was. And then I think Burrow was about to smash it, and then he got hurt.
Oh, that ruined David Carr's career. I think that ruined David Carr's career.
He admitted as much. He said, like, it gave me shell shock. And you see that happen to a bunch of quarterbacks when they get beat up. You do not want that happening to Burrow.
That's why you need to learn to scramble. So that's why quarterbacks have to learn to scramble out of the pocket and stuff. And
most of them do now. Like, a lot of these guys can move. Like, I feel like
the issue that people have with Mac Jones at the moment maybe is he's not quite as mobile. Mm-hmm. But with him not going to San Francisco with a third pick, do you guys see? Many people said if he doesn't go to San Francisco with a third pick, he could fall all the way down, maybe even to 15. And the Patriots picking up there.
I think Mac Jones is a smokescreen.
I agree with that. Like when I heard all of the like, hey, he's going to possibly be a top 5 pick.
Picks in.
I was very, very like, what with it? Because I watched him at Alabama when he was competing with Tua's brother. And I was like, I don't see it. Like, and I get it. He plays at Alabama, a very pro style system, but he didn't do it for me. Like, and some guys I'm just wrong, but
too bad we can't get the noise when they do this because of the fact that we would get a strike.
I don't think we would, to be honest. Like, I've seen some other places that do it. It's a short enough clip that I don't think that that's an issue. So feel free to try it.
Chase, I think it's Hollywood with the sunglasses and suit.
I don't want to be the dude that says drip, but like, might be going for it.
So they got the receiver. I mean, they do need to protect him.
They did pick him.
Yeah, they picked Chase. Doesn't he have like the fastest time in the 40 anyways? So what they could do is they could put him in the slot. It gives them versatility too, because of the fact that with Chase they can actually use him as a like in the element role where he's like a punter and stuff, but he has the speed in order to
I wouldn't
break
put him in the
out.
punter role. I wouldn't put him in the punter role.
If you're drafting him 5th overall, you ain't putting him back there.
T. Higgins.
I think Chase has breakaway speed. Breakaway speed. Like if you throw like a large or far pass, I think that's what Chase is good for. A fade or like I think it's just good for a breakaway. His breakaway passes his speed. He's not. I wouldn't say he's more a possession receiver. I think that's more Devontae Smith is more professional possession receiver. I think Chase is more of a breakaway receiver, like kind of like Stephon Diggs, stuff like that.
He's a really good
fair
route runner, is what I would say. He's probably
so we're gonna be getting all the way through. What is it? The 5th pick now? The 6th pick? I'm gonna pull up the draft.
6th pick.
That way we'll go to the
Miami, who's gonna pick a wide receiver as well. I reckon Miami take.
Yeah, they have what's this guy named Jaylen Waddle? What's his name? Waddle?
Yeah, Waddle.
Jaylen Waddle. Yeah,
Jaylen Waddle. He opted out this past year, but he was pretty sensational last year in college.
I think it's breakaway speed too.
Yeah, this like I've said a bunch of times already. This receiving class is very, very good, and like
it's a stat class, and overall it's a stat class.
And last year was too. The year before that was too. Like you're gonna see a very good age of receiving, and I know the game is built to do it that way now. But
you also got to remember, and I just thought of this too, is that I'll look up the receiving core for the Pats, but you also have to replace somebody because speaking of Edelman's retired now. So
yeah.
So I mean you can find good receivers in the 2nd and 3rd round.
You're going to be able to find them all weekend long.
I don't know if you guys saw the war room of the Bengals. They showed it after the pick was announced. It didn't look like everyone in there was happy. Like they weren't clapping and cheering like all the other war rooms. They all just kind of sat there. One guy was walking around like kind of trying to shake everyone's hand. I think that was a contentious pick.
Yeah, I guarantee it was either
not to say he's
between.
Not a great pick, but just I think
it's a favorite of Burrows. I think it's a favorite of Burrows.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of it was between Chase and Sewell. And like that might have been the contention.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought Sewell was going to go.
Already in, by the way.
And you also got to remember
receiver
too,
going here,
because if we're talking about like players for each team, because of my team, Chung's retired too. Patrick Chung retired this year too.
Yeah, and I mean, you're always replacing guys. That's the business. So
defense. I know corners. There's been talk about corners going like early now, like Surtain and Horn and stuff. But I think defense you get a little bit later, and as the draft goes on,
So
it depends if they're elite defensive talent.
I mean, you got Micah Parson there as well.
I mean, the one position that's fallen off is running back.
Yeah, and I mean it's all based on what you need. Like I look at the draft tonight. Like again, we keep referencing our own teams, and like as a Broncos fan, if they're not taking a quarterback or a offensive lineman, I want defense. Like, and I know at 9 that can be viewed as early, but like the Broncos again, Von Miller, pick number 2, Bradley Chubb, pick number 5. Like you're going to see defensive guys go at the very top, and that's fine. It's just what do you need? So
if you can't build up a good offense, try to build up a good defense.
So this is the wide receiver core for my team. Is Nelson Aguilar. Hopefully I'm saying that.
Aguilar.
Network. You see that network?
Keneal Harris, Christian Wilkerson, Kendrick Bourne, Jacob Myers.
Not good, brother.
I mean, they're not bad receivers, but they're not elite receivers. They're not like.
Some of those are bad.
Yeah.
You need a number one. You need like an undisputed number one in that receiver core, I think.
If Aguilar's your top, Aguilar's like a 3-4 maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely need something.
But they got good tight ends to sign though with.
Yeah.
Tight ends.
Yeah.
So Miami. I mean, they need weapons for Tua. They need.
We'll go to the 10th pick and then they'll close up.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Because I got Warren Hayes' show. I'm gonna go after we've done this. I'm going Warren Hayes' show and listen.
I got Rob asking me to, because we were talking before this, and he's like, if you want to come on and shoot in the Sportage and watch a little bit, you can. I'm like, I'm down. So
What the heck is that guy?
I'm gonna say this is that I put out a tweet on people who I would like to be on the show, and Spencer Love said he would be down.
Nice.
That'd be awesome. So with us moving the 50th show the week before of the 1 year show, we'll see what can happen.
I suspected. No, sorry, just go back.
There you go, freaking Ron.
He thought Smith was going, but he went Waddle.
So you guys
They
are
went
ahead of me
Waddle?
again. Oh, they went Waddle? Okay.
So
Waddle.
does that? I don't want to. I don't want to get caught. I don't want to get like a strike because I was gonna. If this was just on Twitch, we'd literally just go. We could play music every time they freaking get. Oh, we got to do that next year.
Well, you're not gonna get a strike from that. Don't worry.
Yeah,
No, because we're recording on Twitch and YouTube.
you'll be fine.
Yeah. So I mean, not from Waddle, but I mean, like, I could have just pulled up Pandora and started playing that while the pick was coming in.
See, ludicrous speed. Ludicrous speed. I mean, yeah.
The thing with Waddle is he's phenomenal after the catch. Like
Yeah.
he's got the explosive pace, but once he gets the ball in his hands, he can blow away from everyone. So I mean, you get that
He's from
from
Alabama,
him,
too.
and then
Mhm.
also there's the size issue that keeps getting mentioned with Devontae Smith in terms of he is a bit on the thinner side. So maybe some teams might be wary of that, but I think Devontae is more. He'll get separation really quickly,
Mhm.
and then you can hurt people from there. Whereas Waddle, get the ball to him really quickly. So maybe if I don't know if they want to put him on the slot or something, but get the ball as quickly to him as possible, and then he'll be able to then just run away from guys. So I mean, it's a good option for the Dolphins.
It's interesting too, like from seeing this as a college to pro transition, this will be 2 years in a row that Alabama has two receivers go in the top 15. Like if you're a young wide receiver and Alabama calls, you should probably listen. Like that applies to any position. I get it. Like Alabama's Alabama, but like as a receiver, like 4 guys in 2 years in the top 15 most likely, because I don't think Devontae Smith is going to be sitting here too much longer either, to be honest with you. He might actually go right now.
Are you guys surprised that there haven't been any trades yet?
I actually am.
Yeah, that's a good call too. You
I
might
think-
see some of those here in the next couple minutes too.
Yeah, I think.
So I'm looking
I
at that Lions pick coming up. I don't know
Detroit
if
has
they
said
told
like
me.
they've
It's
said
in though.
it's open.
Detroit's pick is in, so.
Oh, it does say it's in.
Oh,
yeah, you're right.
as
Yep.
we say that, their
Yeah.
pick is in.
But it could be a trade though. They could say the pick is in and still announce a trade.
They don't typically do a pick is in if the trade's coming in. It'll just kind of they'll like let the clock run out if they don't say anything. But
If Detroit doesn't pick up a tackle here, Carolina's gonna take the tackle.
I could see that. You gotta
Yeah, I
you gotta
could see
protect Darnold, right?
Yeah, so he doesn't see ghosts.
Yeah. So I will be honest, my specific Twitter is going to be a fun one to watch here in a second because like not my account, but like my stream of stuff because living in Michigan, watching the Lions do stuff, it's always fun.
It's gonna be the Lions fans are gonna be either happy or upset, right?
Oh, they're gonna be upset. It doesn't matter
Oh.
who it is. They're always
No
upset.
matter who they pick, they're going
Like
to be
that's
upset.
that's what Detroit fans are trained to do. So it's funny for me because like I am a Broncos fan and I always can look at it a little bit more objectively than they do. So
Do you think it's funny that I have a Barry Sanders jersey that goes all the way to Michigan as soon as I get the money to ship it?
I think it fits the
miss him.
gimmick.
I miss him.
Barry was
He
very,
is awesome.
very good. I still like. I've watched a lot of football. I've got a lot of good memories.
The pick is in. The Lions pick Wild Boy.
That would be pretty cool. I
I would
don't
love
have
that.
I don't have tons of like specific play memories, but when Barry was at 1,998 yards or whatever, And then it was like, okay, the next carry, he's going to break 2,000 that year that he did that. And he busted off like a 55-yard run. Was like, that's perfect Barry poetry of like, he's not going to just hit this mark. He's going to smash his way through this mark.
I think it was the most.
And
I would think have
he was
the
so fun.
rushing record of all time if he didn't retire so early.
Yeah. And there's a lot of
Did you guys
there's a lot
see
of
Jeff
backstory
Hawkins?
on that.
Did you see Jeff Hawkins' tweet? He
No.
really wanted Penei Sewell, and he was like, damn it, don't do this to me, Alex. It's my birthday. And then they picked Jamar Chase, and he was just like, damn it.
Oh, I didn't know that
what's
he was
so
a
weird,
Bengals
and
guy
I just
too.
realized
Yeah,
this since the
Bengals
beginning of
fan.
the stream, is that Tad doesn't have that belt behind him.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Different setup.
sitting in a different place.
I was just say
'Cause I'm not
something looked
sitting
a
on the
little
chair.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sitting on
But
the
look at
chair.
the Lions today lost. Stratford and Galloway, man. Like that's pretty huge.
Hey,
I-
the Lions lost a coach, and we gained a defensive coach, so I'll take that anytime.
Yeah, I really expect this to be a wide receiver, just because they
Smith.
need him. They need him, and Dan Campbell is a tight ends coach. Like he's going to want to be able to move the ball around, especially with if you're going to make Goff successful.
Do you remember his introductory press conference when he got named coach?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be honest. I was like, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, what a weird pick. There was a lot of talk the last several years that he was going to be a guy that got a job, and it was going to be one of those ones where it's like people didn't necessarily see it coming. But if you paid attention to his circle, because he actually, Ron Patel in the chat can verify this if he's still there. He was an interim coach for Miami a couple years ago when they had the whole bullying thing. And he did a very good job with that locker room. Like he got, Richie Incognito. Yeah.
He's actually pretty good. He was a good tackle too.
Well, he was a guard, but he was a garbage human being.
Often.
Like, and he's still in the league. Freaking John Gruden.
Tony Khan has already released a statement on Twitter.
Trevor Lawrence
is going to AEW already?
Yeah.
Did he actually
thanks everyone for the support of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Whether you're a Jags fan, thick and thin, since the day one.
Lions are very
jealous.
And so then someone literally just turned around and put Trevor Lawrence is all elite.
Penei Sewell to the Lions.
Nice. Okay, so you guys are still ahead of me, but that I do see the Lions war room, and those dudes are hyped. And that's you said it's Penei Sewell.
For how long? How are they hyped for? That's the question.
No, that'll be good because that offensive line has some good pieces to it. It's just they were hurt last year. Sewell in there, that line is going to be real good. So that's a good one, actually.
I know we're talking football, but I figured I'd throw some hockey in there. What do you guys think of the Bruins with Hall now, considering we have the hockey person?
Hall's overrated.
No, but I mean on the same line as Krejci.
Okay, he'll provide some offense, but Hall has always been overrated as a player. He had one great, he produced points, but he had one great year of New Jersey where I think he won the MVP. But he's very an overrated player. He'll not defend. He's not going to get a huge contract in offseason, but for a second liner, he's doing fine. He was on Buffalo for most of the year, and Buffalo's terrible. Everybody on Buffalo's terrible. But how help Boston? Because Boston's problem has always been scoring, so it'll help them with the scoring rise a little bit. But other than that, don't expect anything much.
I think the fact that with the Bruins is that you have a real awesome first line.
Yeah, agreed.
But the second line needed help. If you put Hall on there with Krejci on that line, with Krejci being center, it's going to give Hall more opportunities because they're going to focus on Krejci and try to pick which one of those two to go after. So it's going to free up one of those two. And it's doing really well.
McDavid's going to hit 100 points in the 56-game season.
I know they use a stick and a puck and a net.
McDavid's
read my bio. Read my bio on StreamYard, and you'll know my comments on hockey.
Yeah. So wanted to say this. Did you hear? I was listening to a radio station here. It's called 100.7. It's a classic rock station. So they were doing the news about the draft. Do you know that all these people for tonight and the next few nights for all these players have 60 ball caps, 2 of each size.
Yeah.
That's nuts. What are you going to do with the extra ones? You're going to give them
Well,
out
they
as
send them
Christmas
back.
gifts?
They send them back, I think.
No,
Like,
they
It's
keep
not like
them.
he puts them on his head. He doesn't have to
No,
put
but they
60
keep
of them
them.
on his head.
What they were saying
probably,
there,
they probably give them out to friends. Like when you know that many people, you know someone who's a fan of every team. So you go, hey, here you go. Or you go to a local Goodwill and go, here's a bunch of free hats.
Like they'll supply him like with free Pepsi and Doritos and
Sponsorships, man. That's the gimmick
placements.
there.
Yeah,
So-
I'm just gonna put this nice, wicked, crazy title belt right here.
So
Is
yeah,
it John
watch that
Cena?
happen.
I don't see it.
if I was if Green Bay is not going to trade Rodgers, I don't think they're going to trade Rodgers. But if they get because if I was Green Bay,
They've
I would
said
ask
that
for-
they are. They've said that they will listen now. Like
Oh.
that, they said earlier today. Like no, they have softened that stance
You
already.
think-
So,
I would ask for like multiple first round picks for multiple years.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, this would be like we thought the Stafford deal had a lot in it.
This is more than
will-
Stafford.
and like there is something to be said that like Rodgers is
And
a couple years older.
Watson's value has gone down because of his.
No, I'm talking about Rodgers. Like
Yeah, I'm just
Rodgers.
saying.
Yeah, Watson. Watson.
Because if Watson, because if Watson didn't have his problems, I think he would have been traded.
Yeah, I mean that's
Send us Rogers, because that way we can have his fiance come here on a regular basis. The new Janelle Butch and Shane Hill Woodley.
So, does he wear 12?
The thing I think is that if Kraft does have him come here, I honestly think he would probably wear 12 though.
You think?
Yeah.
I
You
think
don't think
Rodgers-
Tommy? You don't think Tommy and Pat Nation are gonna get a little mad at that? Like,
I don't think so.
Tom Brady is God there. You know that, so back he's God there.
Yeah, but I think if you had to pick, would you rather go back to another Super Bowl or, worry about the past? If any number they would have to pick, I wouldn't be surprised if it was number 15. But or a number that's lower. I mean, I gotta remember what was Bledsoe was 11.
11.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Bledsoe says here,
Oh, here we
take
go.
it.
8 picks in.
I think Rodgers wore 8 in college, so maybe he says that. I'll go back to that. So that would work.
Rodgers is going into the locker room and saying, "I'm wearing 12. I don't care if it's Tom Brady. I'm wearing 12. You traded for me. I'm your man. I'm gonna get you a Super Bowl. I'm wearing 12."
I don't know that he would care that much, to be honest. Like, I get it, he's got a brand, but like
Yes.
he
He has
also
a big
knows
ego.
how
He has
this
a big
works.
ego.
Right, but like he knows how this works, and like I said, I think he's been
quarterback,
with
right?
other
He's a
numbers. But speaking of numbers, the league changed the rules on the numbers a little bit too.
I heard about that.
I'll be very excited to start seeing receivers wearing like 1 and 4 and stuff. Like that'll be cool. Seeing corners wearing like 3. Like I don't know.
I can see a
Something
receiver
about me
wearing
likes
number
that.
1. I can see a receiver wearing number 1 before. Yeah, I'm number 1, man. I'm number 1.
Well, you're gonna see a
Because
lot more of
receivers are
those
arrogant. Receivers are arrogent.
people. That's the
They haven't-
only.
they haven't-
That's
they
the
haven't-
only position that they can be arrogant in. Come on, man.
And
That's-
them in corners. Corners are just as arrogant.
Football is a game of machismo and trying to prove how manly you are. It's an alpha male sport. All of them are like that.
Yeah, but when you hear interviews and trash talk, it's mostly from receivers and corners.
How many offensive linemen get interviews all the time though? Like there's a certain amount of it that is it's a and
You
I
got
gotta be
first defensive player go up on the board now.
Horn, son of Joel Horn.
nice.
Joel Horn's son.
There is a certain amount of those conversations that we have to be careful with of like, oh, this position is always arrogant when certain positions tend to demographically be different than other positions because that can sometimes be a slope that you're not intending to be on.
You know what? You're right. It's the media because the media does not interview the offensive linemen, and and to an extent they don't interview the defensive linemen either.
I'm queuing up the raid for when we're ready.
I was surprised Horn went before Surtain. I thought Surtain would go before him.
Yeah, I had seen Horn going like mid-20s, and I thought that was a little late. So this is interesting though. But he I mean, again, it's Carolina, so like that might play into it.
What's
here a
Lambert?
little
What's
bit.
Lambert say?
By the way, I know everybody's gonna say we're gonna rate Fightful. Love and Wrestling's on, so Love Wrestling CA is on doing a wrestling quiz. So we might rate that because there's only 2 people watching, and I support what they do. They're awesome. Them and all the stuff for Fightful too.
So, please give me Justin Fields. My Broncos are on the clock. I want that man.
Oh,
I
here we go.
didn't think he'd be here. I legitimately didn't.
Yeah.
There was talk of him dropping. Today.
Yeah, but I didn't think he'd actually get. I thought we'd see some trades and he'd be gone. I'm very scared though that it's going to be Mac Jones, and I don't want that.
They can't
I
mess
don't think
this
it's
up
him.
again.
I don't think it's him.
It's I hate to say this because John Elway is Denver lore, but he screws this up a lot. Brock Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, like
Flacco.
he traded. I was going to say he traded for Joe Flacco. Like I was good with the lock pick.
Yeah,
and I like if it's competing with Teddy Bridgewater, I'm still okay with giving that a shot. And then you know what? Actually, we just said the guy's name. If it's not Justin Fields, I want Patrick Surtain.
Yeah.
Because they need another corner because they've lost a bunch of them.
Shut down corner. Corner.
And that would be very good. Although I do wonder how Micah Parsons might fit here too.
Oh, with Von Miller in the linebacker core?
Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, and Micah Parsons together? Like, yeah, brother, sign me up for that.
He's got a linebacker in his pants and he's ready to show it. Show it.
What would you do? What would you do if the Broncos traded this pick back?
I would have no issue with that at all. Like collect picks and get more talent. If it's not quarterback though, since Sewell is gone now, if it's not Justin Fields, it's got to be defense. If it's Mac Jones, I'll probably early exit because I'll be very upset because I don't see that working. And that seems like the kind of guy Elway would actually go for.
But Rashawn Slater's still on there. He's an offensive
That's fair.
tackle.
That's
He's
fair. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I mean, if you get a elite
thought the
corner or
Lions- he was gonna
safety,
fall to the Lions.
Yeah, if it's as far as elite corner go, I would say Surtain's got to be the guy.
how's your pass rush?
We have Von Miller and Bradley Chubb.
I mean, with the defensive line and stuff. Defensive line.
Defensive line could use some upgrading for sure.
Okay. So if you could, with that, if they have a good linebacker core and they need upgrading defensive line or the secondary, if there's elite talent there or good enough talent, go with one of those positions.
They could use a guy like Parsons to either play in the middle or on the outsides because again, Von Miller he's getting up there. Yeah, and the way you rush the passer, you need those guys fresh, rotating in and out. So I could see him doing that. Like anywhere on the defense, I'm probably going to be okay with this. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So
if Justin Fields falls outside the top 10, my word,
criminal. And I kind of hinted at this discussion before of like certain demographics being ignored. Like it's a conversation that needs to be had there with Fields too, because if he looked different, he's probably gone. And that's not how this should work.
He fell post the season, like only after the season did he.
Yeah, because let me pull up his stats from last year because his stats were real good. He doesn't turn the ball.
He outplayed Lawrence.
Yeah. Okay. So
he outplayed Lawrence.
22 touchdowns to 6 picks. So, I mean, that's okay. This was what I was looking for the year before in a non-pandemic season. 41 touchdowns and 3 picks 2 years ago. Hello, like yes.
But I think it's Trey Lance. He opted out, but I think his 2019 he threw no picks.
He had 1, but you are correct. He was very, very low. It was just 1 pick.
I think that's why San Francisco picked him. I think he's because Trey Lance might be the most accurate of them all.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when, and I don't know if it'll happen this year because it's cross conference, but when Indy plays San Francisco because Carson Wentz, North Dakota State, like that'll be fun. Be a fun little story there.
So like, I think no pick is in so far. There could be something going on.
So
yeah, I think that's probably they're trying to figure this out because they probably didn't see some of these people still being here.
So one of the things I was going to talk about on Tuesday, if we had the show, is did you see the Austin documentary, the biography?
I don't have
Yes.
A&E, so I can't watch
God,
any
that
of
was
those.
awesome.
That and Piper, I saw them both.
I haven't seen the Piper one yet, but the Austin one was really good. I liked the WWE Treasures where Taker and Kane they were that episode, the last one. They literally looked at it and about how the Unabomber Kane, Glenn Jacobs' first ever character, he painted all that stuff, and like Mark Calloway looks at the other guy and was like, "You kidding me? You the guy's trying to give you something, and you're literally saying a $2,000 when that could be $4,000." He's like, and then all of a sudden they try the second version of the Kane mask, and he's like, "Tell Hunter that you forced my arm a little bit."
So is the next one's Ultimate Warrior, I believe, right?
The pick is
Savage.
Oh,
Savage.
yeah, Randy Savage. All right. Pick is in. All right.
They pick Wade
Here we go.
Callahan of Michigan.
So
Here we go, Ray.
remember, you guys are ahead of me, so you're going to see this before I do. So I'm actually going
We're
to hear
gonna
it.
get a
From,
live reaction.
I'm going to hear it
an
from you
actual
before I see it
Broncos
on the
fan.
TV.
Technically, you could enter the draft. It's just probably not going to get picked. It's true, though. I've seen it before in the past. You can enter.
The NBA actually plays along with that gimmick. I actually had a teacher a couple years ago who's like, "Look, I applied to be in the NBA draft," and it was like the paper that says they were in. So
And then they had to go to the combine and stuff. But no,
no, you have to get invited to that, so they didn't get to.
The G League have tryouts. They let tryouts. So from random people, the G League.
Where are they doing the draft this year?
In the NBA?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah. I don't even know where the NBA draft is.
It's typically in July, I believe.
Yeah, but the finals are gonna be in July this year because remember they're starting the playoffs late in May.
They always time it up right around the same time though, to where I'm like,
all right, Pikachu, here you go, man.
I'm still waiting.
Oh, you're gonna be happy. I guarantee you'll be happy.
Oh yeah, you are gonna be happy.
Oh, here we go. I won't spoil it.
Okay. I appreciate you guys not
reaction.
spoiling this one. I don't care about the other ones, but I appreciate you letting me have this one.
This is gonna go right up with the lexicon of Ray freaking out because Sean popped in.
Here we go.
Oh, you're watching it online. I'm watching it.
There we go. All right. I like
Yeah.
that.
Shutdown corner.
Perfect. Like I said, if it's not going to be a quarterback, I want defense. And cornerbacks are a fun one because I mentioned that I've coached football for about a decade. I coached receivers and I coached cornerbacks. So that's always the fun thing for me to watch.
Pat Mahomes. You're in the division of Pat Mahomes. You need a corner, a shutdown corner.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Tyreek Hill
and
Kelsey?
And again, that's not the only good quarterback in the division.
So-
Again,
Oh,
Justin
San
Herbert,
Diego.
After
Or,
this,
Herbert,
guys,
LA.
after this pick coming in for Dallas, we're gonna end the stream. I want to thank everybody for checking out, tuning in, saying all the nice words and the kind words and stuff. We'll talk more about what's going on with me on Tuesday because there's a lot to it, and just basically gave you guys a statement about what's going on and stuff. But see how I feel on Tuesday. But we're still doing the show, though. It's still going to be fun. We're still on the road to the 1 year and the 50th. So now the 50th show episode just got pushed back a week. So you got a lot of fun stuff coming down the pike. I might see if I can message a couple of people and see if I can get them in for run-ins and stuff like that. We haven't had a run-in in a while. So might as well.
Run-ins. Cost us DQs. Joking.
We had Aaron playing Ding Dong Ditch earlier.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
my internet. They want to play along.
But what I mean a run-in, I mean kind of like,
No,
we haven't
I
had
know.
one since my birthday, but I'm talking about on the show in general. So I might see if I can get some guests on and stuff like that for that week.
I think the Cowboys are pissed off because I think they won 13.
By the way, JL, thank you for everything you said. You're more welcome to come on the show at any time. It's an open door policy. Just get a hold of one of these guys and they'll let you know what to do.
For sure. So my dad is actually a big Cowboys fan. So I like, that commercial where it's like the family where everyone's on a different team. That's kind of our family. My brother is a Titans fan. My other brother is a Jaguars fan, actually. My non-wrestling brother is a Jaguars fan. That's the funny part. And then the Titans and Jags are, rivals. So my brothers are rivals that way. And then my dad's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Broncos fan. And my mom likes the Broncos, but like her other team is the Jets. So we're all over the place.
So why don't we, while we're waiting for this pick, since it'll be the last pick of the stream, why don't you guys get your plugs out of the way? We'll start with the man who likes to stir up controversy. That's your new nickname down there, Tad. The man who likes to, push buttons sometimes between the man above him and the man that was here. So go ahead and say your stuff, my friend.
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter or interact with me on Twitter at Tad Predicts. Then you can find everything that I'm involved with there. Yeah, that's all I'm going to plug.
Yeah, considering you also we have to make that match happen for the pay-per-view coming up too, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't know if Anakin has even followed me yet.
Such a side
what a jerk, man!
He's ghosting me.
All right, Aaron. Yeah,
so,
well, if he ghosts you, you can come after him on Tuesday and be like, "What's up with that?"
Well, there's a trade.
What?
Dallas traded the pick.
Nice.
Oh, because they wanted Sertan. They wanted Sertan or JC Horn. So
yeah, those two teams screwed them. That they screwed them. Hey,
and they lost Pitts.
Nobody cares because everybody hates Dallas, except Dallas Cowboy fans.
My missus is a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, but I'm sure you. But it's true though. It's true that a lot of people don't like the Cowboys.
So Aaron, plug your stuff.
So
since now it's an Eagle. Well, who we should have had on here before we end with the plugs? We should have had Kevin on here because he's a huge Eagles fan.
Patrick too.
Yeah.
Patrick Mason. So you can find me at Aaron J's Fan on Twitter, and my YouTube channel is Aaron Entertainment. I just had a stream actually with Anakin earlier talking about pop culture. And Saturday I'm going to talk about sports. Well, it's going to be mainly about NFL, Aaron Rodgers, and the draft. And then I'm going to talk updates on NHL and NBA playoff races. We're getting close to the finish line, and early MLB stuff. We're in a month into the MLB season. I'm going to tell you what surprises and disappointments. And yeah, Aaron Entertainment on YouTube. Just check me out.
Go ahead, Ray.
You can find me on the Twitter gimmick at Angry Beaver 1127. I would normally do this thing, but we don't have those up there because we're doing the banner gimmick. So I do wrestling pay-per-view prediction shows for WWE, Impact, and AEW, the 4 times a year that they do those. So give that a like on YouTube. You can find that typically the pinned tweet on my Twitter, which is, again, at Angry Beaver 1127. Again, like I said, that's pinned at the top of my Twitter. I also have a wrestling website where I'm on a crazy, stupid adventure to preview the Road to the Monday Night Wars, where I am reviewing every WWF, NWA, Jim Crockett, WCW pay-per-view, starting with Starrcade 83 all the way through SummerSlam 95. I'm like a show and a half into it, so we're very much in the infancy stages. So that's also linked at the top of my Twitter as well. So give that a like, or there's not likes on that. Go give that a look if you're interested. It's very wordy. It's not exactly exciting stuff. It's just fun for me. But give that a look if you're interested in old 37-plus-year-old wrestling takes that don't really apply on Twitter. So, yeah. Thanks.
Every Tuesday at 8 o'clock up till the 1 year show. We're going to be doing the Tuesday show at 8 o'clock. Obviously, you're on here. We're going to do it on Facebook, Twitch, and also YouTube. Hit the button and like and subscribe. It does a lot for the algorithm and helps everybody out here. Also, let's get the Twitch up there, get more people. The closer we get to 50 and a few other things, we can get affiliated with everything. It'll help these guys out. It'll help us, help me out because of the fact that it'll allow us to do more stuff. Maybe I could pay that Brock contract, that freaking double Brock contract that the guy next to me on my right literally signed twice by accident. But
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember signing anything once, let alone
yeah,
twice.
I know. Check out Sister Custom Designs. They made a shirt for the show. Just do a good deed, pay it forward. Check out the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group called Wicked Crazy Pinfalls on Facebook. Just Google it. We got some admins going in there. Other than that, do a good deed, pay it forward, and the picks in, and then we're gonna head out here.
I can't believe the Jets, Dallas, and the Eagles are 3 picks in a row. That's how bad a division was.
Also, I forgot the one thing. Also, check out the retro reviews too.
Why would the Cowboys trade
interviews?
I didn't see what Dallas gets back. Yeah. So I'll be curious to see that.
Eagles get the 10th overall pick. Cowboys get the 12th overall pick and the 2021 third round pick.
Okay, I see.
They colluded to screw over the Giants.
I'm going to be honest. That seems very. You're kind of right. That does seem very friendly. Like I get it. It's only 2 picks, but normally that can
to a division rival.
I don't look at that.
Yeah, the Giants are in there too. They're and then between them too, between Eagles and the Cowboys, so they kind of screwed over the Giants.
Well, I mean, I feel like all 3 of them are looking for different things, and we've seen that before. Because if you recall, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and this is far less. This is far less controversial because it was like a 3rd or 4th round pick. But when Philadelphia drafted Dallas Goedert right over Dallas was about to get him, and they did like a swap like that, and I think what happened is what happens is Dallas lost the guys they want, so they decided to trade back because they have other people in mind that they see dropping. They see dropping. That's why they've probably made that trade. Yeah.
I mean, because they wanted either Surtain, Horn, or Pitts. That's probably the 3 they had.
Yeah.
Eagles.
You don't need a quarterback.
Eagles want Smith. They want Smith. They want a receiver. Everybody's expecting the Eagles are going for receiver.
Also, forget after you guys with the stream, go. We're gonna raid Love Wrestling CA, also on Twitch, but also go to Shooting the Sportage. Rob's over there. Rob Wilkins is over there, he is literally doing a watch along with the draft. Davon Smith.
Smith is going to Eagles, Philadelphia, because the Cowboys don't need any more receivers. They got a good receiving core.
So go check out. Go over to Shooting the Sportish. So thanks guys for being a part of this. We've been on the air for about an hour and a half doing the watch along. Gonna start rating right now. It's got 1 viewer. I think somebody left, but hey, one's better than none, right?
Yep.
Raid now.
Devontae Smith to the Eagles.
And all right, guys, we'll see you Tuesday. Check out also Rob Wilkins in the Mix tomorrow night at 7. Bye, guys.
Later, guys. Bye.